Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A South Fargo woman reached out to our whistleblower hotline after she says two people were caught on her home's security cameras rummaging through the neighborhood mailboxes. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with a woman today and local police on how to make sure you don't fall victim to mailbox prowlers.
Fresh footprints that stopped at Kim Wrench's mailbox, as well as most of her neighbors' boxes Monday morning, left Wrench with some suspicion.
So I thought there's something up here. Somebody was around.
And sure enough, her home security cameras caught this older-looking minivan parking on her street just after 1 a.m.
They got out. One went that way, one went that way, and they hit just about every house in the neighborhood that we could tell.
Wrench says she reported the mailbox prowlers to Fargo police and says thankfully she doesn't think anyone on her block had anything stolen. But she says the next neighborhood might not be so lucky.
Who knows? They might be going to different blocks every night. Especially if they're driving. So just for people to be aware, don't let things sit in your mailbox overnight.
With the holiday season still in full swing, Wrench and local law enforcement remind you to check your mailbox daily.
Especially this time of year, if somebody sends you a gift card or something, that if it's stolen, you would never know.
Police also urge you to have arrangements in place for your packages and mail if you're heading out of town, as a full mailbox is a good indicator to criminals of an empty and unsecured home. In South Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
If you have any information about this incident or would like to report something similar happening in your neighborhood, you're urged to call Fargo Police's non-emergency number. That's 235-4493. Some of us were reaching for a heavier coat this morning, quite a difference from a week ago. Let's find out what this evening looks like. Hutch?
Did you notice a little bit of a cool down to start the week? Single-digit readings for highs today. Look at these high temperatures. Boston did manage to get above zero. 1 whole degree the high there today so far. And also Cavalier and Hallock in those same galoshes. As we take a look at our temperatures currently, we're below zero in Thief River and Badette. Roseau has warmed a little bit. It is 1 degree in Detroit Lakes this hour. Look at Fargo. Now, if you joined us at 4, I mentioned here as we see the sun set, our temperatures are going to fall quickly. I think Fargo will dip down to sub-zero readings here in the next hour or two. We have some snow on the horizon, though, and it doesn't quite reach all of us, but there'll be a chance of some flakes for some. I'll go into detail on that here in a moment, but for now, your planner in Fargo shows increasing clouds this evening, and as those clouds move in, the temperatures are expected to start rising. But how warm do we get on your Tuesday? I'll have details on that. We'll talk about who may see some more flakes in the forecast here in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. One man is in the hospital after waving a knife at police, allegedly before being tased several times. Police responded to the Two Rivers Inn West Motel twice to investigate a domestic assault report. The first time, the caller insisted she dialed 911 by accident. Nearly half an hour later, police returned to the motel and found Daniel Kostecki wielding a knife. Police had to tase him multiple times to get him to drop the knife. He was arrested on suspicion of simple assault and terrorizing. Tonight in Bemidji, police are asking for your help in finding a 14-year-old girl. Authorities say Kaya Hawk was last seen near the Paul Bunyan Mall Friday evening around 5:30. They say Kaya left the area voluntarily. She is 5'3", about 110 pounds, with long brown hair and brown eyes. Kaya was last seen wearing a gray Nike sweatshirt, blue jeans, and slide shoes. Authorities believe she may be in the Bemidji or Red Lake areas. Anyone with information can call the Bemidji Police Department at 218-333-9111. In Otter Tail County, authorities are now releasing the name of a 14-year-old boy killed by his family's dog. Officials have identified the victim as Dion Bush. The incident happened last Thursday in rural Battle Lake, Minnesota. Otter Tail County Sheriff's deputies say the family's 3-year-old long-haired German Shepherd attacked and killed Bush. Fire crews rushed to West Acres Mall today after someone noticed thick black smoke coming from the side of the building. This was the scene just before noon at the JCPenney wing. Multiple trucks and Fargo police responded. Fire officials tell Valley News Live there wasn't actually a fire. It was just thick smoke coming from a generator. No one was hurt. Today marks a major milestone in the fight against the coronavirus. The biggest mass vaccination effort in the nation's history began with frontline healthcare workers receiving Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. CBS News correspondent Naomi Ruckham reports from New York, where the first person in the U.S. received the vaccine.
Cameras flashed as healthcare workers at Hartford Hospital in Connecticut received a vaccine that will finally keep them safe. Nurse Sandra Lindsay got a round of applause when she got her shot in New York City.
I hope this marks the beginning to the end of a very painful time in our history.
There was more clapping when a FedEx driver dropped off the vaccine in Tampa, Florida. 145 distribution centers are getting shipments today. There will be another 425 deliveries Tuesday and 66 on Wednesday. Almost 3 million people will get the vaccine this week in all 50 states. A second dose will follow in 21 days.
We have enough vaccines already purchased to ensure we can meet our goal of vaccinating every American who wants it by the end of the second quarter of 2021.
Dry ice keeps the vaccine at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Extra shipments of the ice are also being delivered.
Today is truly an historic day. Vaccinations have been a tried and true public health measure for hundreds of years. But the development of a COVID-19 vaccine is nothing short of revolutionary.
The vaccine can't come soon enough. According to Johns Hopkins, the U.S. just crossed 300,000 deaths caused by COVID-19. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
An FDA board is scheduled to hold a meeting Thursday about approving Moderna's vaccine. The long-awaited vaccine made it to Sanford Health in Fargo this morning. If you're one of the healthcare workers receiving the shot, the FDA says there are some things you should keep in mind before, during, and after getting it. You should get a vaccination card or printout that tells you what vaccine you got, the date, and where you got it. You may get common side effects like pain and swelling where you received the shot, a fever, chills, and a headache. Also remember, you need 2 shots for it to be fully effective. The second one happens 3 weeks after the first. Altru Health System in Grand Forks will receive their first allocation of the vaccine on Wednesday. They're expecting to receive more shipments every week. The 450 initial doses will be used to vaccinate staff. As distribution of the first COVID vaccine starts across the country, another milestone serves as a reminder of the work left to do to stop the spread. As of today, more than 300,000 Americans have died from complications related to COVID-19. More than 16 million cases have been confirmed in the U.S., and that's only cases that have been reported. In Grand Forks, the mayor is extending his 10 p.m. closing time and 50% capacity requirement on bars and restaurants until the end of the year. It's been in effect since early November. In an effort to help hurting bars and restaurants, he's also eliminating 2021 license fees for specific classes of alcohol and restaurant licenses. The city plans to use CARES Act funding to offset the revenue loss. The mandatory closing time in Fargo is expected to be brought up at tonight's City Commission meeting, which just got underway. Stick with Valley News Live tonight as we bring you the latest from City Hall. Joe Biden has just surpassed the 270 vote threshold in the Electoral College when California's electors cast their votes after a day in which the process unfolded smoothly. 538 electors are met today in their respective states to cast 2 votes, one for president and one for vice president. Their votes based on election results recently certified by all 50 states. 270 electoral votes are needed to become president. Joe Biden won states, giving him 306 electoral votes compared to President Trump's 232.
As this event comes to a close, it is evident that this is not the end of the discussion about the 2020 election, nor how we conduct elections going forward. This is likely the beginning of a lengthy debate about how to reclaim faith in our democratic institutions.
The Electoral College votes certified today will be counted in a joint session of Congress on January 6th. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be sworn into office January 20th. Police in South Haven, Mississippi say a 2-year-old boy was abandoned at a Goodwill store this morning. Police say a man left this 2-year-old boy at the store with a plastic bag containing a change of clothes and a note. Police released surveillance video that captured images of the man and a woman and the vehicle they were driving when the child was abandoned. They were gone by the time officers arrived. We are still looking for help with our virtual food drive. We've raised more than $12,000 so far, but that's only about 30% of our goal. If you're in a position to help, there are a number of items that you can purchase and donate right from your phone. Download our free VNL News app, look for the virtual food drive, and then click to donate. If you're turning to social media for your COVID information, you might not be getting the correct facts.
And we started the day with a little bit of snow on the ground and plenty of clouds. Those north winds made it bite all day long, with temperatures in the single digits here in Fargo and barely getting above zero up north. It looks like a cool start to the night, but then warming overnight for some. Your forecast is next.